On November 18th, a month and a half ago, two cars smashed into two different restaurants on the same day. One at the S&D Oyster House in Dallas at 2 in the morning. A car smashed through a brick wall. The other later that day, a driver thinking she was in reverse accelerated through the kitchen wall of an East Dallas pastry shop, hurting 3 bakers. When the owner of the S&D restaurant was interviewed by the Dallas Morning News the morning after the accident, he said, "I'm getting so used to bad news that nothing shocks me anymore." If that statement doesn't sum up 2020, I don't know what does. In 2020, bad news reigned over most things, irrespective of the election for many. We saw a spread of global pandemic, horrendous fires in the West, violent police brutality was shown to us on our screens again and again when George Floyd was murdered in front of us. The federal government sending unbranded police squads to protest, a massive explosion in Lebanon, Kobe Bryant's helicopter crash, locusts swarmed East Africa, so many things. Even Mount Everest grew a meter taller to the dismay of mountain climbers. Numerous earthquakes rocked the world, volcano eruptions. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and was replaced by a Christian fanatic. Chadwick Boseman and Little Richard and John Lewis and Naya Rivera and Olivia de Havilland. So many celebrities died. CBS has a list of over 140 famous people, not to mention the over 300,000 people who died of COVID, some our own friends and family. Need I go on? I'm not recapping this to traumatize you. I'm saying to you that no one I know is sad to see 2020 go. This time, more easily than any, we are happy to let go of the past and let it recede into our memories in hopes for a better time. Better times are coming. Vaccinations made their appearance among us. Potentially less divisive political framework appears on the horizon. At least for now, we can take a few breaths before the real work of rebuilding our world from the wreckage of the last year starts. The new year in our church is a chance to let go. On my list to burn in the old year for the clean slate of the new is not only the numerous things I have just mentioned, but also my contempt for certain characters of last year, my remorse over how we have or have not responded to the pandemic, my dis-ease with my fellow human beings, and my disappointment with those who promote conspiracies or fail to do simple things like wear masks for the common good, and my own disappointment in myself in not being enough for my spiritual life this last year. The list can go on. The question is, what will I really let go of so I am free for the coming year? I'm asking you to write a list to burn later in a safe place. But this list can be long this year until you really have to commit to one or two things that will change you by you letting them go. What really is letting go? Really relinquishing something, like pushing a raft out to sea and standing on the shore to watch it float off onto the horizon. What will you really not carry with you into this start of the new year? Letting go is an act of love. It's for you and for others. It's so you don't resent yourself or the people around you. It's a reminder to reset your spirit when you feel like you are slipping. Listen to this from the University of California Spiritual Care Resources newsletter, a beautiful piece from an unlikely place. It says, "Letting go takes love. To let go does not mean to stop caring. It means I can't do it for someone else. To let go is not to cut myself off. It's the realization I can't control another. To let go is not to enable, but to allow learning from natural consequences. To let go is to admit powerlessness, which means the outcome is not in my hands. To let go is to not to try to change or blame another. It's to make the most of myself. To let go is not to care for, but to care about. To let go is not to fix, but to be supportive. To let go is not to judge, but to allow another to be a human being. To let go is not to be in the middle arranging all the outcomes, but to allow ourselves to affect their destinies. To let go is not to be protective. It is to permit another to face reality. To let go is not to deny, but to accept. To let go is not to nag, scold, or argue, but instead to search out my own shortcomings and correct them. To let go is not to adjust everything to my desires, but to take each day as it comes and cherish myself in it. To let go is not to criticize or regulate anybody, but to try to become what I dream I can be. To let go is not to regret the past, but to grow and live for the future. To let go is to fear less and love more. To let go is to find peace. May you be open to all that is in store at this moment. That's a lot of letting go, but there's a lot of letting go to do in 2020 for your spirit, for your life, for your love, for your heart. The lines that stick with me in this spiritual lesson are these. To let go is to try to become what I dream I can be, and to grow and live for the future. This is what we're doing today. If we were in this sanctuary, we would have hundreds of papers burning in the sand bowls before us. We would see letting go happening in front of our eyes. This year, we invite you to really ponder a list and to burn it where you can meditate on the flames and on your hopes for this new year. And this year, some of you left slips of paper for us to burn for you. I will do that in just a moment. I have not read them, but I suspect they have words like divorce and death and anxiety and alcohol and pain on them. Only you know what you need to leave behind. And I implore you to make it real. Something you can let go so you can grow and live for the future. So your spirit can move into this new year in health and wholeness. I gave my family this New Year's a pendant that was a dumpster with a fire in it and 2020 on it and the ribbon like a marathoner that said finisher. May we all be finishers from the dumpster fire of 2020. When I entitled this sermon, Burn, Baby, Burn, I was looking back on a year that we need to let go. May you be well in this exercise. This is the one that we need right about now. Amen.